Hi, I have just eaten a Wonka bar that someone gave me. How exciting is that? So we're up to chapter minus 10, part 2, A Lighthouse in the Middle of the Lounge Room, written by Solomon Dew. Everyone cheered when Solo paused to drink some water. Excellent storytelling, shouted Magal. Just what we need. Solo bowed. There's a bit more, he said. I know, said Magal. Continue, my friend. Solo beamed at his audience as he kept going with his story. I must have dozed off because the next thing I knew, Mum was knocking on my door. We'd all slept in and everyone was running late. Nell, called Dad, we've got to get going. Can you guys get your own breakfast? Mum tousled my hair and gave me a hug. Help Tilly get ready, she said. I rubbed my eyes, feeling tired. You okay? Asked Mum. Yeah, I said, I just had weird dreams. Mum smiled. You'll be right, she said. I put your coats outside to air. Have a fun day. I nodded. It wasn't often that we all slept in, but when we did, I had to look after my little brother and sister. As I said, I was 10 at that time, Toll was 8, and Tilly was 5. I wandered outside to get our coats. There was a bit of wind and everything was wafting about. I love our garden. It's so overgrown and wild. But in the middle, just past the clothesline, is a lawn with a sundial. I was thinking about how tired I felt when I noticed something on the lawn. When I noticed something on the lawn. The grass was usually glistening with dew. And it's our family joke that we always have dew because our surname is Dew. But the lawn was dry all over except where some dew shimmered in the morning sun, spelling out magic in big letters. MAGIC. I'd had so many crazy dreams the night before. I'd quite forgotten the visitors in the lighthouse and the deal I'd made. But now it was all coming back to me. As I stared at the letters, they began to flash backwards and forwards from being wet one minute, sparkling in the sun, and then disappearing as the whole lawn became dry. And then the letters were wet again, sparkling in the sun. This happened every few seconds. I stared at the lawn, feeling strange. Magic, magic, magic. I couldn't help thinking that I must have dreamt the whole lighthouse visit. I thought, it's all some sort of freak coincidence. Someone must have thrown a pile of fairy lights across our back fence and they're lighting up the lawn. Maybe my parents had created a trick. I could believe just about anything other than having had a visit from time-travelling teenagers whose magic could somehow put dew onto our lawn in the shape of the letters that spell magic. I ran inside to get Tilly and Toll. Quick, I said, I need you to look at something. Toll and Tilly love surprises. When we reached the lawn, the letters were still there. All around them, the lawn was dry, but the grass spelled out MAGIC, and then the magic flashing started up again as the word was alternately wet and then dry. Wow, said Tilly. Did Daddy make this? I shook my head. I don't think so. Who did? Asked Toll. Not sure, I said. Come on, we'd better get ready. Over the next week, I began to believe that I really had been visited by 2 people from the future called Escher and Jax. Well, 3 people, actually, because the wizard was with them, even though I didn't see much of him. It was a strange feeling, but the more I thought about it, the more I felt like their visit was the most real thing that had ever happened to me. And that's when I decided to ask my parents if they knew any ice witches. They said they didn't, but somehow I knew that they would get to know them, and knowing that made Jack's and Escher's visit mark the beginning of our family's journey into the realm of wild adventures. With that, Solo stopped talking, grinned at everyone, and then bowed low. There were roars of approval as everyone clapped and cheered. Questions? Asked Solo. Minnow's hand shot up into the air. Have Jax and Escher actually been on that trip through time yet, in the lighthouse? Solo laughed. You'd have to ask them, he said. Minnow turned to look at Jax. I'll answer that question on another night, said Jax. No, said everyone with a groan. That's the way, shouted Miguel, standing up. Anyway, tonight is over. See you in the morning. No way, shouted everyone. More,